going home.
Captain Sig Hansen and his crew on the Northwestern face a tough challenge in the freezing Bering Sea. They're up against icy waters, huge waves, and the unpredictable sea as they hunt for the prize king crab. When their traps come up empty, spirits drop, leading to a bold choice to explore new areas in hopes of finding a hidden treasure trove of crabs. What combination of experience, smart planning, and a touch of moon science changed their luck in such a big way? Join us to discover why this became the luckiest day in Sig Hansen's career. Battling the cold seas for crab-catching crabs in the Bering Sea isn't something everyone can handle. It's a job that calls for a lot of grit, bravery, and a never-give-up attitude. The whole thing starts with the tough conditions out at sea. The Bering Sea, known for its freezing cold waters, huge waves, and harsh storms, creates a backdrop for what's likely one of the most hazardous jobs out there. For Captain Sig Hansen and his crew on the Northwestern, these harsh conditions are always part of their search for sea treasures.
The first pot?
This is it.
This is it.
Captain Sig and his team pull up their last crab pot of the trip before heading back to port. The Bering Sea treats everyone the same. It tests every ship that tries to cross its waters. The crew of the Northwestern, though seasoned, faces the same tough conditions as every other sailor out there. The cold cuts through their clothes, the wind screams, and the massive waves look like they could swallow the ship any second. Under these nearly impossible circumstances, they start looking for the hard-to-catch king crab. But the physical challenges, tough as they are nothing compared to the mental and emotional strain from not knowing if they'll catch anything. Crab fishing is like a high-stakes bet against nature, where the payoff is not just money but also a testament to the fisherman's skills and determination. The season starts with everyone hopeful and eager, but the sea is unpredictable. Their first time out in the fishing spots ends up being a letdown, with the pots meant to catch crabs coming up empty again and again. The ocean floor, usually bustling with life, looks more like a barren wasteland right now. The lack of crabs isn't just a problem. It's a serious threat that could mess up the whole season. Captain Sig Hansen, who's been at sea for years, really feels the pressure of this challenge. You can see the frustration on the crew's faces, a mix of old-timers and new guys, all looking to Sig for what to do next. The empty pots mean more than just a minor hiccup. They represent hours of tough labor, careful planning, and most importantly, the hope for a successful season.
I haven't been to bed since yesterday morning. Sometime, I don't know, it's well over 36 hours now.
The difference between their hopes for lots of crabs and the reality of finding none is sharp. It's a reminder of how unpredictable the ocean can be and the risks that come with their line of work. The initial shortage of crabs really puts the crew's endurance to the test. The vast Bering Sea, with its deep waters, doesn't give away any hints or promises of success. The morale of the crew dips as the days pass with little to show for their efforts. The empty ocean floor, which should be packed with crabs, is a challenge that Sig and his crew have to figure out. However, this challenge also brings an opportunity. It forces the crew to get creative, rethink their approach, and dig into their deep well of experience and knowledge. The lack of crabs spurs them to change things up, leading them to check out new fishing areas, try different baits, and adjust their tactics according to the changing moods of the sea. It tests their ability to adapt, their teamwork, and their deep commitment to their livelihood. For those like Sig Hansen and his crew, who earn their living on the Bering Sea, the environment demands respect, resilience, and a steadfast spirit. The challenge starts with crab fishing itself, a job that requires physical strength to haul heavy pots from the deep and a deep knowledge of the marine environment. With the crab's unpredictable movements and behaviors influenced by various factors, like water temperature and ocean currents, they add another layer of complexity to this high-stakes game against nature. At the center of this season's unfolding events was the initial lack of crabs, which Sig likened to a desert. Miles of ocean were searched and pots were set and then pulled, only to reveal nothing but the vast empty space below. This emptiness, where there should have been plenty of life, led to a lot of frustration and clear tension on the Northwestern. The crew, experienced in dealing with the sea, found themselves questioning their strategies, their luck, and maybe even the ocean that had been their bread and butter for many years. With things getting tough, Captain Sig knows playing it safe won't work. A bold move could change everything, or it could leave them with nothing again. A risky move in deep waters. Facing huge challenges, Sig Hansen made a crucial choice that could turn the season into a big win or just another forgotten attempt. He decided to try something risky, changing the depth where they fished and aiming for a narrow canyon on the ocean floor. This canyon had shown potential in the past but was tough to fish. Its steep sides and deep paths were believed to be a main route for migrating king crabs. Deciding to fish here was risky, a step away from the safer and more familiar areas that Sig had mastered throughout his impressive career. The plan was as daring as it was necessary. Teaming up with Jake, another captain with his own deep knowledge of the sea, they came up with a plan to encircle the canyon from both ends. Sig would approach from the south and Jake from the north, creating a strategy to catch the migrating crabs together. This collaboration between the boats, reflecting the strong friendship and mutual respect among fishermen, was a calculated risk. It needed perfect timing, a good grasp of the tidal movements, and complete trust in each other's skills. Getting ready to fish in deep waters starts long before the first crab pot is thrown into the sea.
All right, come on now. It's just warming up.
They decided to add 180 feet of rope to each crab pot to reach the deeper parts of the canyon, which was a big logistical challenge that required detailed planning and precise execution. To those not familiar with fishing, this extra rope might just seem like more string, but it significantly increased the weight and complexity of handling each pot. For the crew, already tired from the season's challenges, this meant even more physical strain. Each heavier pot demanded more effort to handle. Attaching and securing the extra rope, making sure it was done right to avoid losing pots or causing damage, demanded focus and physical strength. The deck of the Northwestern turned into a place of constant action, with each crew member playing an essential role in this deep-sea challenge. The cold, wet conditions on the deck of the Bering Sea added to their difficulties, with the freezing wind and waves constantly reminding them of the tough environment they were in. Fatigue began to affect them, not just physically but mentally as well. The endless cycle of pulling up and setting out pots started to wear down even the most experienced among them. Sleep became a rare and precious thing, with the demanding fishing schedule in the unpredictable sea allowing little time for rest. The crew's commitment to the task, driven by their loyalty to their captain and the hope of a good catch, kept them going even as their bodies resisted. This period of preparation and execution was a real show of the crew's persistence. The Bering Sea, with its deep and vast waters, tested their resolve with every pot dropped and every line pulled. Despite the exhaustion, the biting cold, and the seemingly overwhelming odds, the crew's spirit stayed strong. Their commitment to the venture, to each other, and to the success of the Northwestern never wavered. The physical toll was visible in the bruises and the tired looks on the crew's faces, which they wore as badges of honor in the crab fishing world. However, the real cost, the mental and emotional exhaustion, was the true measure of their sacrifices. The sea doesn't give up its treasures easily, and the crew knew well that the price of their ambition was paid through relentless hard work, pain, and non-stop effort.
Oh my God!
The decision to head into deeper waters and target a narrow canyon was a big gamble, a move away from the familiar that could determine the entire season's outcome. The crew, already stretched thin by the physical and mental demands of the preparation, waited anxiously for the results. The tension on the deck was thick as the first pots, now loaded with the extra line needed to reach the deep parts of the canyon, were retrieved from the ocean's hold. The day unfolded like any other on the harsh Bering Sea, with the crew bracing against the cold, their faces set with determination. The Northwestern, a boat that had become as much a part of this story as her crew, plowed through the waves, her pots ready to scoop up the ocean's riches. The excitement was clear and almost tangible on the deck as the final pot of the trip was pulled from the depths. The sea's rewards often come at a high cost, but when a smart risk pays off, the results can be amazing. A victory in the cold waters. When the crates emerged from the depths, they offered a peek at the king crabs inside, shimmering in the light. This moment, with crabs tumbling onto the deck, was a significant shift. The initial catches were not just plentiful. They symbolized hope and represented the fruit of the crew's diligent efforts and Captain Sig Hansen's clever planning. Their risky decision had turned out to be the right one, making the once barren sea a source of rich bounty. The morale of the crew skyrocketed instantly. Just moments ago, they had braced for disappointment, but now they were filled with new energy. Laughs and shouts of victory broke the cold silence that had hung over them before the haul. This thrilling high, this victory against the challenges of the sea, was what they lived for. Seeing the crabs, a tangible reward for their hard work, sparked a renewed passion in them, driving away any lingering doubts and exhaustion.
24-hour business. It's actually paying off.
Still rolling like a freight train. And we decided to do the 24-hour rotation. It just made sense for this season.
Captain Sig Hansen, watching from the wheelhouse, allowed himself a brief moment of pride. The risky strategy had paid off, validating the crew's trust in his leadership. This victory wasn't just his, but shared among all team members who had kept their hopes up despite the tough odds. More than just a successful catch, this moment reaffirmed their collective strength and resilience. The energy shift on the deck was palpable. It breathed new life into the crew, who now tackled their tasks with an enthusiasm that was missing when the pots were empty. Each crab, now sorted and stored, was a step in rebuilding their spirits. The work remained tough, the environment unforgiving, but the load was lighter knowing their hard work was paying off. As the last crate surfaced and landed on the deck, it felt as if time stood still. Their combined efforts had led to a massive 100-pound haul of king crab, gleaming under the daylight like treasures. This wasn't just any catch, it was a monumental victory, an affirmation of their hard work, and a nod to the unpredictable generosity of the ocean. For Captain Sig Hansen, this moment was extraordinary. It was the culmination of years spent at sea, where his experience and intuition had converged into one spectacular catch. The joy on the deck was overwhelming, a powerful surge of happiness and disbelief that enveloped everyone. Cheers and laughter filled the air, their echoes spreading across the water as a testament to their success. The crew, usually reserved, let loose, fully enjoying the fruits of their mutual efforts. Sig, standing at the helm, allowed a rare smile to cross his seasoned face. This catch was more than a success. It was a validation of his strategic choices, a reward for the risks they took, and a deeply satisfying moment. The luckiest day of my entire life was more than just a personal triumph. It was a collective victory that highlighted the core of their endeavor, the human quest to master the ocean's riches, face down the unknown, and emerge victorious.
It's our last pot in this string.
As the Northwestern headed back to port, its hold teeming with crabs, the significance of the day's achievements began to truly resonate. The incredible catch was part of a larger story marked by consistent effort, resilience, and the crew's unwavering spirit, adding depth to this achievement. As they sailed into the harbor, the crew standing proudly on deck, it was clear that this day would be remembered not just for the haul, but for what it represented. The enduring spirit of humanity, the strong connection between man and the sea, and the realization that even the most ambitious dreams can sometimes come true. The moon, a distant celestial body, plays a critical role in the success of their fishing efforts. Its phases influence the tides, affecting the behavior of marine life, including the elusive king crab. The moon's gravitational pull during these phases alters water movements and depths, sometimes exposing the crabs to danger or providing them a safe haven deep in the ocean's embrace. Sig's decision to target a specific area during a particular phase of the moon was strategic, taking advantage of the moon's impact to predict where the crabs might be. As they enjoy their success, they start to see that true victory comes from understanding the signs that others might miss. The science behind the catch crab migration patterns are essential in the fishing world. Various factors like water warmth, saltiness, and availability of food guide these movements. King crabs shift to areas that are better for spawning, or where the water is deeper, providing them with ideal living conditions. The canyon targeted by Sig and his team was chosen carefully. They identified it as a natural path, a crab highway, that could direct the crabs into a specific area, making them easier to capture. This knowledge about how crabs move, sharpened by years of careful observation and experience, was crucial in planning their fishing trip. The unique environment of the canyon also played a big role in their success. Canyons at the bottom of the ocean provide a rich living space for marine creatures, giving shelter and plenty of food for king crabs. These deep, narrow channels can act like natural containers for the crabs, gathering them in spots where they are more likely to come across baited pots. The specific conditions within the canyon, like temperature, pressure, and light levels, create a habitat that can attract or push away king crabs depending on the season and other environmental conditions. Sig's deep understanding of these environmental and biological elements, along with his extensive experience in the Bering Sea, significantly contributed to the success of their expedition. He could interpret signs from the sea and sky, as well as subtle signals from the marine ecosystem, which helped guide every decision, from choosing the right time for the expedition to the placement of each pot.
And I know that before full moon, you see good fishing. You can't get a read on your gear because you don't know what's going on.
This profound instinctual connection to the sea, a mix of science and craft perfected over years, distinguishes the most successful fishermen. The science behind Sig Hansen's "Luckiest Day of My Entire Life" showcases the complexity and depth of the marine ecosystem. It stresses the importance of understanding how environmental factors, the behavior of target species, and their habitats interconnect. When combined with hands-on experience and a deep respect for the sea, this knowledge can lead to remarkable fishing successes. The catch was not merely about overcoming the sea's challenges. It was a display of harmony between humans and nature, a moment where years of knowledge, environmental respect, and thorough planning merged to harvest a bounty from the depths. It reminds us of the importance of science and sustainability in fishing, ensuring that the ocean's resources will be preserved for future generations. In today's age, where the icy waters of the Bering Sea continue to test the grit of those who venture into it, modern fishing technology and tools have become crucial allies. These innovations have transformed how fishermen like Sig approach their craft, enhancing their ability to make well-informed decisions and achieve significant success.
With each 100 RPM, there's a corresponding speed. Now, if you have line in the wheel, your engine's going to be working, but you're not going to be going any.
Sonar mapping of the ocean floor stands at the forefront of this technological revolution, altering the landscape of crab fishing entirely. It's much shallower. My string didn't do much at all. Hopefully, we'll get something out of this. This technology enables captains to see the seabed's layout, pinpointing canyons, ridges, and other underwater features where king crabs are likely to reside. For Sig Hansen and his crew aboard the Northwestern, sonar mapping was key in identifying the narrow canyon where their historic catch would occur. Providing a detailed, real-time map of the underwater terrain, sonar technology allowed them to target specific areas with an accuracy once deemed impossible, significantly boosting their chances of success. New pot rigging techniques also highlight the technological advancements in crab fishing. The traditional crab pot, while effective, was somewhat limited in adjusting to the variable conditions of the Bering Sea. Introducing newer rigging methods that use stronger, lighter materials and innovative designs has allowed fishermen to tailor their equipment to different depths and conditions. Did Captain Sig Hansen's incredible luck come down to pure skill and strategy? Or was there something more strange at play? Perhaps even forces beyond our understanding? Share your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more.